I want to talk about this right now. This is a strange phenomenon I've noticed on the internet, especially doing a show for like a year now. Not that I'm like, some sort of like, I've been here for ages now, but I've been doing this show for like a year now, and it's been interesting things have happened. I've met a lot of people, been, really just like, building, an audience over here, a group of people where we can just chill out with the boys or whatever. That's kind of like the nature of this channel or whatever. And in the process of building something like this, it's been a lot of fun. It's been pretty cool or whatever, but I've noticed that there's a lot of spurgery, a lot of shenanigans that take place on the internet. And I was reminded this morning when, I woke up from our expeditions last night. I woke up and I saw this guy like completely having a moment, like freaking out. And I thought I'd just, highlight this, not to like send any, harassment his way. Of course not. And I'm not even saying that as a meme. Like, don't fuck with this guy's Twitter account, obviously. But I do want to show this, to make a point, not really of this guy in particular, but kind of like this phenomenon that happens when like you do things and you expect things and you want to develop some sort of like weird like parasocial relationship with like everybody you watch because you like send them money so you feel like you're like owed some sort of like attention. It's not just with this guy. This has happened to me now like 20 separate times where like fans of the show will watch me. They'll tune into every stream, they'll donate, they'll like all the streams, they'll share it out, they'll promote it on Twitter, they'll always tweet at me, they'll be like, Augie, what's up? They'll like every tweet, they'll comment, they'll be super fans or whatever, and that's cool, alright? But then like when I don't reciprocate the same amount of energy towards them that they do towards me, they become jealous, they become like bitter. And it sounds like a cope, it sounds like a meme what I'm saying right now, but this has literally happened to me like 20 times now. And it's not something that I really like care about, it's just something that I notice. It's like a weird like psychology experiment, So this is what I'm talking about right here. This guy on Twitter, this Grim Hades guy or whatever, he's been a supporter of mine. He's been a supporter of a lot of people around our channels. I'm pretty sure he's supported, Creep Show, Nick Diorio, John Swan, probably you, Boblax, if I had to guess. He's kind of been around.
Enough attention to this type of shit, honestly.
Yeah. Like, see, I'm still at the small level where I notice things like this, But anyway, so he's been like a supporter of the Goon Squad adjacent type channels or whatever. Repzilla, he's a big fan of Repzilla or whatever. And
he even has Chris Hansen blocked in his banner. So.
Yeah. So he was like, hanging out with the boys or whatever. I can't speak for the other guys, but I know for at least me, like when we did the Rewired Soul stream, he like sent like $500 that night. And I remember being like really like, like appreciative of that. Like I was like, holy shit, that's like an insane amount of money to like spend on one person and on one stream. Like, yeah, if I watch a stream or whatever and I think it's cool or whatever, I might send a 10, 20, 50 if it's a special occasion or whatever, but like 500 is a lot to send on, one individual streamer. So I was, I made sure he knew it. Like I was like, damn dude, like thank you, man, like that's really nice of you. And that was like a year ago or whatever. And then I noticed last night, like he starts going ape shit, and I'm like, wait, isn't this the same guy that was like super cool last year? He says here in this tweet, or no, it's the upper tweet, he says, just have to say, with all the cancellations going on, fuck AugieRFC, fuck Nicholas Diorio and all their friends like John Swan and Creep Show. I would say John Swan could do good to leave the group of cumtards.
Cumtards?
Cumtards, yeah.
Or cumtards now, I don't know. What?
And it's not just like, it's not just like, one tweet. He goes on. He says, I'm sick of dick writers on YouTube. There are tons of channels that all suck each other off and do the same goddamn vids like AugieRFC, Creep Show, Nick Diorio, Edwin Generation, Some Ordinary Gamers. Actually, Some Ordinary Gamers used to not be one, but he wants that pussy from Creep Show.
What?
Which is just like, okay, like, all right. I'm like reading this. I'm like, okay, all right. And then I get to the end and I'm just like, oh, okay, all right, buddy. Kind of feels
Muda
like
is not nicer to Creep Show than any other, like compared to any other women. Like,
do you know something I don't like?
There's nothing that stands out between like how Some Ordinary Gamers and Creep Show art react to each other. They're both just friendly people. I mean, Some Ordinary Gamers is friendly towards pretty much almost everyone he can be.
Do you know something I don't like? What is this like?
Like, is there like some sort of subtlety you see when?
Are you like projecting right now? Like, are you like projecting what? Are you like projecting what you want onto other people? Is that what's going on here? I'm a little bit curious now. I don't know.
He watches the shows with Creep Show art and Muda, and he's like, you can definitely tell Muda's simping by the way he toned that fucking message. Like, I don't know, man.
So he keeps saying here, there are many other clicks also. Keep riding each other, you cumtards. And he continues on here. People say that AugieRFC is an anti-Semite. First off, I know like some people say that, but I wasn't aware that there was like a large demographic of people that genuinely think I hate Jewish people. So he says, people say AugieRFC is an anti-Semite, which I do not believe, but I do think he is a kid that needs to humble himself before he fucks over his career on YouTube.
Again with the fucking like, oh, I'm gonna watch over Augie like my son mentality. You get that a lot. I don't get that as much, but you get that a lot where people are like, yeah, I'm not angry.
It's like this weird, like,
I'm just disappointed. Hopefully
it's like this
he
weird,
grows up.
you know,
like,
there's a word for this shit. It's called concern trolling. It's when there's another word for it, but I can't say on YouTube, unfortunately, as much as I would like to say the word. But the safer YouTube version, it's called concern trolling. And what this basically is like when you pretend, when you hate somebody and you want bad things to happen to them, but you like mask as like, oh, I don't hate this guy, but bad things will happen if he doesn't do X, Y, and Z. Like I'm supposed to like change how I act, you know, to accommodate
Grim the foresight, like, oh, I'm the all-seeing Grim.
Yeah, what are you, like a fucking like
he's going down a dark path, like.
Yeah, are you like one of these like fucking like Twitter witches that's like predicting my fucking future? No, you're not. You're a fucking weirdo on Twitter. Degenerate who's just mad that you thought you could like, I guess, like buy friendships with all of us, and turns out, you know, maybe we don't give you the same attention you gave us, and now you're mad about it. I don't know, man. I don't know what your problems are, but like this is just like this weird, and it continues. It gets even worse. So then he starts doing
the next one's my favorite, and you can tell by the ratio.
This is the cancel culture move. He does different tactics here. Notice the different tactics at play here. Firstly, he tries directly calling us out, fails. Secondly, he tries concern trolling, fails. Now he's going the cancel culture route. So John Swan, are you legit okay with the racism? Showing a tweet that John liked from Rusty Cage where he says the Wi-Fi password is the N-word 69. I guess
it's N166ER69.
Wait, it's not even the N-word, it's N1. That's not the N-word.
Dude, N166ER69.
The N-word is spelled with an I, not a 1. That's not even the N-word.
Dude, it's literally just a bunch of random numbers and letters in no particular order. Like,
shameful display.
Also, like, this is the same argument. We talked about this, like, a couple After Hours ago, but it was like, there was this girl who basically called me a racist because I liked a tweet where Leafy said the N-word with an A after Too Mad said he could, and that was the joke. And I simply liked the tweet, and now I'm racist. And then the fact that Nick was friends with me on top of that, while I did that, means he's a racist by proxy, which is just such a weird connection.
Yeah.
And this is like just similar. It's like John Swan liked a tweet of Rusty Cage posting an image that was probably made by someone else that alluded to the N-word.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
It's so funny. So obviously that fails. I mean, 5 likes on his tweet, 130.
The likes and the response.
So John says, yeah, it's literally a Wi-Fi password. He's like, bad optics, which is like, that's not the...
Really,
you weren't making an argument that was bad optics. You said that was legit racism. So don't try to backtrack. Then he posts this fucking picture. Love the nose ring, by the way. Me listening to most of the YouTubers I used to like a salty, literally like a salty ex-girlfriend. Like people say that all the time, but this is literally what a salty ex-girlfriend would write. Like it's word for word.
And a salty ex-girlfriend would have the nose ring too.
Oh, no.
Dude, this is like such a mismatch. Like nose ring is more of like an aesthetic you do when you have like dyed hair as a girl. And I'm not saying this is bad, I'm just saying that's normally like the aesthetic that goes with a nose ring.
Yeah.
But for him, it's literally just average looking dude with a nose ring, which normally that doesn't...
Such a boomer.
I mean, he can do it, it's just not like fashionable, I guess, I don't know.
So he tries 3 tactics, all right? All of them fail. So he goes back to concern trolling. It's gonna happen one day. It's gonna happen soon. AugieRFC will be demonetized again. Learn to be more humble.
And then like this meme of fucking...
Can I actually... Yeah, this meme or whatever. Can I just say...
random.
I literally I can't stand how... I can't express this enough how much I hate people who tell like anybody to be more humble, man. You gotta be more humble. Okay, cuck. All right, degenerate. Yeah, tell me to be more humble. Yeah. Like that's like those. That's the most ballless response you can tell somebody. Be more humble, man.
Is so generic.
Oh my god.
Like, what does that even mean?
You should really be more humble, dude.
Let's say we take this criticism seriously. Be more humble. What does that actually entail?
It doesn't mean anything. It just says, don't be an asshole. No! You should really be more humble, man. I'm just saying, bro. You should be a lot more nicer on the internet. Okay, alright, yeah. Suck my ass. Good one.
It's like, oh, you should suck this guy's dick and accept all his fucking
yeah, it's
shit
like when somebody like criticize you on the internet, and then like the criticism is shit, and you respond to it, and then they're like, you should really take criticism better. Well, it's like, okay, yeah, but like if the criticism sucks, then like what am I supposed to do? Are you saying I should just like bend over and just take any criticism I get up the ass, like with no like pushback at all? No, that's not how it works. Like if it's good, if criticism is worth listening to, if it genuinely is like, okay, here's some honest criticism of, you know, this thing that you did or whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, that's, you know, I'll think about that, man. Thanks for letting me know. But if it's just like, you should be more nice, man. It's like, okay, well, like, what do I do with that? That's just, okay.
Be humble, dude.
Oh, yeah. And
dude,
then
the next tweet is funny because basically what happened, like, he called out John Swan for liking the Wi-Fi password. And then John Swan found a tweet where he was saying the N-word with an A. And then he's like, wow, John Swan calling me out for saying the N-word with an A to my black friend. It doesn't even matter.
Wait, he's literally pulling the I have a black friend card on it?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Awesome, that's epic.
And it's like, okay, yeah, I agree that it shouldn't be criticized, but it's being criticized because you criticized him for liking a tweet with, like, a fucking N-word password. Like,
and then he caps it off in the morning with, like, remember, don't drink and tweet. Yeah, exactly. But
oh, yeah, I was drunk, guys.
Look, to cap off this segment, like, I don't want to, like, you know, just put all the attention on this guy in particular. I'm simply using him as an example because this stuff happens all the time to me on YouTube. And it's something streamers, like, they sort of talk about, but they don't talk about enough, in my opinion. Is this like, weird relationship that's, like, demanded by certain members of the audience. Where it's like, okay, I've been watching for a year, man. Why don't you respond to my DMs? Why don't you hang out with me? I send you money, bro. It's like, oh, yeah, you donate to the stream. Like, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Don't get me wrong. But, like, you don't have to. And just because you do doesn't mean that I'm like suddenly like owed like a friendship with you. That's weird. I actively have, like, you know, when like Twitter mutuals or whatever, like, you know, I introduce myself to mutuals. I like to meet new people or whatever. But it's like when it comes to fans in particular, I do avoid that. In, you know, for the most part, I'd say like I do avoid that type of stuff just because I know what it leads to. Like it just like it opens the door to situations like this where it's like, well, he talked to me and then he stopped talking to me. He didn't want to be my friend. Like what the? And it's just like, okay, I can live without this bullshit. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't even describe your behavior as avoiding. You just interact with fans as you normally do, like interact every once in a while, but you're not gonna have like a one-on-one relationship with every fucking fan you come across.
Guys, just watch the show, all right? Get some friends like that are outside of the internet, that are outside of this whole drama stuff. Watch the show, you know, just watch the show. That's all you have to do, you know. Watch the show or don't if you don't want to, and you know, just be like, just look at people that you watch online, and this is my genuine advice. Look at people that you watch online. It's just they're just people that stream or do videos or whatever. Like that's all they do. Don't try to be like, oh, I want to be friends with, like, yeah, you might meet somebody that's cool or whatever, but like don't actively seek it out. Like if it happens, that's cool, but like just chill, all right? That's all I'm saying. Just relax, all right? You watch people that do the shows or whatever, you like what you see or whatever, that's awesome. Just leave it at that, all right? Because it's going to be better for you and it's going to be better for them. Just chill. That's just my general advice.
Yeah, don't be obsessive over it. You can still like message and stuff like that. Like I interact with my fans like every once in a while, but I don't like become friends with my fans typically, or I'm just saying ever.
Like just general, because I've seen this phenomenon happen.
They might send a DM saying like, oh, your videos helped me through the day, and then I'm like, cool. I like reply like 1 reply, 2 replies. Yeah, don't expect to have like a actual friendship with YouTubers.
It might happen, might not. Just chill.
just chill, be normal.
Parasocial bullshit is weird, but anyway, just thought
it is weird. I've never had a situation like yours where
I think it's like,
I used to be a fan, and then
it happens a lot with streamers, because I see Twitch, like I'll be watching like Trainwrecks or whatever, their podcast or whatever, and they'll talk about this like all the time, where like, you know, viewers will like get like invested, and they'll like spend like literal like years trying to reconnect the streamer that banned them like a couple years ago or whatever. Like it happens a lot with streamers because like streaming by nature is a lot more personal, especially when you do it like every day. Like people feel like okay, we talk in the chat like every day. We're like friends now. So like if you do something that friends wouldn't do or whatever, then that's like a big backstab move or whatever. It's weird. But yeah.
Yeah, I have noticed that a lot with streamers, and then with YouTubers, you just make the videos. So like people do get a connection, like a parasocial connection, and they appreciate you, but they don't expect like
it's easier to happen like with streamers
because you don't give as much of your time to them because videos are shorter than streams, right?
Yeah.
And it's not live, so they're not like reacting to your comments live, so it doesn't seem like it seems like you're watching a product and then like saying, oh, I'm a big fan, like I'm a fan of your movie, for example, rather than like, oh, I'm having a live chat with you.